Ah, the Powerpuff Girls. Along with shows like Dexter's Lab and Samurai Jack, Powerpuff Girls was one of the best cartoons that the Cartoon Network had to offer. You know, back when they actually showed cartoons, instead of the reeking, maggot-infested roadkill programming that they show now. Okay. Deep breaths. Let it go. As I was saying, the Powerpuff Girls was a groundbreaking show about 3 elementary school girls who were also superheroes, and they got to beat the crap out of giant monsters, aliens, and an assortment of weird and interesting supervillains on a daily basis, and all before bedtime, too. The show was also full of hilarious references ranging from characters that were based off of obscure Japanese TV show villains to well-known American pop culture. There was no possible way for me to hate this show. And then came the moment when the Cartoon Network execs replaced good taste with greed and began canceling all the worthwhile shows. But that's not the bad part. No, not by any means. Some years later, I discovered that the Cartoon Network had once gotten together with Aniplex and Toy Studios to do an anime version of the Powerpuff Girls. Yeah, I said anime. I know it's supposed to be pronounced anime, but I will continue to mispronounce it until the day people stop calling Alucard Arucard. But seriously though, the very thought of someone turning the Powerpuff Girls into an anime filled me with disgust. That is, until I actually saw an episode. Hey.
ちゃんとハモれてないみたいだね。もう一度やってみよう。
Then I was filled with Lovecraftian levels of terror. What did they call this international abomination? They're here, Powerpuff Girls Z. The title alone told me that it was gonna bite, and bite hard. You're probably wondering the same thing I was. What was wrong with calling it the Powerpuff Girls? My guess is they didn't want people to get the shows mixed up. I mean, God forbid that someone would want to watch the anime version only to end up watching something good. The reason why I have such an issue with the anime is because it seemed to me that the Cartoon Network was trying to fix something that wasn't broken. More like they purposely broke something so that they would need to fix it. It simply doesn't make sense. The original show was well written, well animated, and perfectly voice acted. Wasn't it good enough on its own? Did the fans really need this new version? To make matters worse, the anime seemed to get rid of everything that was right about the original show for no apparent reason. The first thing I noticed is the strange animation. Now, I do like the Japanese style of animation, but for this show it just looked wrong. Everything seemed so girly. While I'm aware that the show is aimed at young girls, that still doesn't explain why nearly everything is decorated with hearts, stars, and flowers. A 2-year-old would be embarrassed to be seen in some of these places. That adorable van with the cute little angel wings right there, that belongs to Professor Utonium. This cutesy little car with the eyelashes and the headlights, it's the mayor's. This cartoon actually wants us to think that it's okay for grown men to drive vehicles that look like something too girly for the Barbie doll line of toys. The other problem I noticed was the mutilation of the original storyline. Chemical X, the stuff that gave the Powerpuff Girls their powers, has now been replaced with Chemical Z, which is more powerful. But this alone was not what gave the girls their powers. They were also hit by a beam of light. You know what? That part is a really long story that doesn't make any sense, so I'm not going to bother explaining it. The girls aren't even sisters. No, they are actually 3 ordinary girls that accidentally got superpowers. So no sugar, no spice, and absolutely nothing nice. Bubbles, Blossom, and Buttercup aren't even their real names. Yeah, the Powerpuff Girls now have secret identities. You want to know why? 'Cause it's an anime now. So they gotta have a transformation scene. Powerpuff Girls have become Sailor Moon. I feel like harming myself now.